Hi, I am Suraj. Today I am joined with young and dynamic women leader in Web3 space, Vandana Jain.
Hi everyone, this is Vandana from Evident Capital. It's a pleasure to be here.
Vandana, you have a vast experience in financial sector. Can you give us some insight about your beginning in Web3 space?
I did computer science engineering, and then I quickly realized that coding is not my strength. But finance was something I was passionate about back in engineering days itself. And that's why I chose my first company, Bank of America. And I went to Hong Kong to pursue MBA. That's where the journey of Web3 started. Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum, he was there to do a talk show. That was it. That year, 2018, saw the boom and burst of the whole ICO market, saw a crypto ATM live in front of me. Then I moved to New York being the hub of finance. 2021 is when I started working in the Web3 ecosystem. I do see a bunch of real world use cases, be it in the carbon space, sustainable finance, be it women empowerment, being inclusive to underrepresented communities. I think that's what brings me to Web3. How did you enter into the world of Web3?
I'm a serial entrepreneur. I had an opportunity to work to set up a new hospital. When the telecom industry was booming, I grabbed each and every opportunity to make my print there. So I feel a lot of proud in it. I was 27 years old then. I kept investing in startups when the startup story began in 2016. In 2020, in the peak of COVID, when the whole world has come to a standstill, that was time when me and my co-founder Prabir thought about starting something new. We always thought about the strong points of blockchain, which is the traceability and transparency.
I started working in a startup around the same time you set up your angel investment fund, and I realized maybe the whole DeFi, DAO, NFT thing is one side of it. These are all fancy terms. But the real world use cases, when it especially comes to representing communities and sectors which are not very well being captured by the traditional finance, that's where blockchain comes in.
I just wanted to understand how tokenization would replace the traditional financial system.
Traditional finance space is definitely going to use tokenization in their elements. Tokenization, in my view, is going to focus in bringing illiquid assets into mainstream. I think a big market is alternative assets. For example, a startup founder who's going through a cash crunch in his company, even though he's owning 50% of the equity of the company, he cannot really use that to get some loan. But what tokenization can do is he can decide to sell 10% of the stake, and in a tokenized fashion, multiple investors can purchase that equity and he gets an easy cash flow. Another segment which requires infused liquidity, but it's very difficult currently to engage into these projects in remote areas. So that's another space where blockchain helps.
So what you mean is tokenization would improve the sustainable development and increase the economic growth? Because most of the sustainable projects, what we are currently working on, are all finance heavy projects. Projects like these, where the stakeholders are farmers, are like, it's a very big challenge to put cash in hand before the credits are issued.
Like for example, one of the projects we are doing, the corporate itself engaged in a forward contract with the farming community. What a forward contract is essentially we are agreeing on a price of an underlying asset for a future date, procuring carbon credits in order to meet their SDG goals at a particular price. So the farmer is also getting the money on day one itself.
The process, what we taken up in Trust01 by providing a digital MRV for the farmer project, our vision is to get the entire Web2 application in place to digitize the data. Eventually, the data would be pushed on-chain, so the project is exposed on the Web3 platform to major investors who would forward fund this project.
That's the beauty of tokenization, right? You break down the project into 1,000 pieces or whatever, and investor is interested in that one piece, and we help unlock that sort of liquidity. So that's where Evident comes in.
So Vandana, you have born and brought up in Assam. It's very nice to see the students coming from that region exposed to the Web3.
This is something I'm really proud of. I was brought up in Assam, but I had to leave after my 10th standard because of lack of educational facilities. You know, life takes a full circle. Assam is known for its tea, silk, bamboo, but definitely not technology. And this caught my attention. So I conducted a session on DeFi and applications of blockchain in real world problems. Some of the projects these students came up with was to do with supply chain, traditional finance, stock exchange. It's amazing to see the students from Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Seven Sisters, where typically the development happens towards the last. And these students coming up with applications which have global impact.
I come from Telangana. Trusto One has partnered with Student Tribe. It is a startup in T-Hub. The vision was to carry the knowledge to the student of the sustainable carbon projects, what we are doing in Telangana with the farmers. We took 50 students, a remote region, Karimnagar, and these students were interacting with the farmers in field with the technology. The data was captured in the field by drawing a polygon of the field and by geotagging the farmer's land to that particular farmers. I saw so much of enthusiasm which made my day, because it was a great effort to convince the students and take them to the villages. The whole program was appreciated by KTR, who came and distributed the certificates. This is like a lifetime experience for the student.
I second that thought. Your eyes, by the way, lit up when you were talking about it. That just shows the enthusiasm you have and the passion you show towards this, engaging with the young students. India currently is like the powerhouse of technology, and that's how the future should be.
So thanks Vandana for sharing your thoughts on Web3 and to be part of this interview.
Thank you so much for having me here. It was an amazing session. Thank you
My pleasure.
again.